Do we have, has everybody had a chance to review the minutes last month? If so, I'll entertain a motion to approve them.
Chris makes a motion to approve the minutes from last month's meeting.
Chris moves. Do I have a second?
Mark seconds.
Mark seconds. All in favor of approving the minutes from last month?
Aye.
Sorry,
Right.
Dr. Early.
Motion passes. Discussion onto building projects.
So, we've talked a lot about building projects over the last several years since I've been here. I would like to, start moving forward on that. And I think now's a good time to start with that. And the first step would be to get, MKM design back in here to figure out the plan and all that stuff, and work through those steps. And if we're going to put this into our strategic plan, which I've proposed and it's been part of our previous strategic plan as well, we need to go ahead. I think we need to go ahead and get started with that and start moving forward with that. And that would be the first.
Facility study?
No, bringing them, because we've already had the facility studies, and I know what I want to do and what we want to accomplish with these. So it would be bringing them in to actually figuring out the layout and working as our project manager type thing to do the bids and stuff for the actual projects.
Mike, are these the projects that you have listed in the action steps?
And part of the strategic plan, yeah. So the moving, reconfiguring the storage space down here to be a staff workroom. Then converting the current youth services staff space into a caregiver room. Enclosing the current circ area to be a workroom for them where they can work on tasks without constant interruptions. Being rid of the current adult services workroom and putting in a one service point desk that would be manned by adult services and circulation. I think I hit all those points.
Yeah.
So to do that, I assume we need to approve some level of spending to do those drawings. I mean, I assume we're talking about at least a 5-figure outlay to come to that.
We've worked with Zach at NKM before, and they've always come in and given, they know more about the project process than I do, having not gone through this level of building project. But I would assume that they would come in and work with us and get an idea of what we want, and then they would, at least when we were talking about bond, it would be that payment will be at the end. But I think we need to start allocating the funds to the preliminary stuff.
Is that where the ish came from in the text message?
Yes.
Oh.
I have a plan for money. I just don't know exactly what. Yeah.
I noted to Michael that our budget is looking rather good for 2025. Asked if we were planning on spending $250,000 by the end of the year to get us back not looking good again. He said ish. I guess that's it.
So would you envision us starting by inviting Zach Benedict then to give us sort of overview and possibly propose a scope of services?
Yep.
What the cost might be?
Exactly. So, and I would do that this year with these funds, so we know what we're getting into over
Which
the
means the next meeting.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be a quick turnaround.
I understand all those changes. My concern, and it goes into the strategic plan, is there's no equipment maintenance schedule in here anywhere. So looking at the last one, we still haven't put the economizer on, which you had said.
Yeah.
The priorities, I misunderstood. It was someone's priority. It wasn't a
Yeah, so
maintenance where it had to be done
So-
first, second.
So before me, they had a facilities plan and they
Right.
looked at all those things. Same company that looked at the potential for the solar array was the same
Right.
company that did
Right.
that. And looking at those average
Right.
end of life type things. It was high on their list of things to address.
Right. We just still have some things from that my concern is how do we balance all these
Yeah,
monetary needs?
Yeah.
Because we haven't resurfaced the parking lot, but maybe it did need it.
And the parking lot was on my list high, but the time of year,
Yes.
we missed that window.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm just concerned with how do we, looking at the old one, I don't know why they were prioritized the way they were. How can we come up with a plan to move forward with the different projects
And
to get it done?
if you want me to move forward with the economizer, because that is something that is needed.
Didn't we talk with them about the economizer this year? Wasn't there?
It was brought up,
And
uh,
one of the reasons why we had discussed it was because of cost savings, that it would
It-
reduce our
eventually, yeah.
utility bill, but the payoff was like 25 years or something. like
Yeah.
that. It was very, very long.
Right,
That's all I remember about it though, because we don't need it to keep the building functioning.
correct.
Did it do anything about extending the life of our existing equipment? I can't remember.
Not that I recall. It was just to add efficiencies.
Okay.
and that was just a discussion I came earlier and asked him, because the old one had priorities and I thought that was in order of what we had to have done maintenance wise, and they are
No,
not.
the end of life stuff is what is coming up.
Yes,
Yeah.
so that makes more sense. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
Cause I thought, according to this binder, when I came on, it said in the strategic plan, it has to have an equipment replacement schedule on page 22. So I don't know if we need to,
Yeah, no, 100%, because that's what we would talk about, because when we used to put all the stacks and everything, and then the microfilm, and then moving that over to digital things. Yeah, we did have to have a figure of what we were gonna do to replace all of that digital stuff.
right,
And maybe I've missed something because when I was focusing on this strategic plan, it talks about, replacement stuff. And so I was focused on like the computers. We have a 3-year
yes,
plan.
yep,
We've done the boilers within the last 3-4 years, I think, just before me.
yeah, see, I don't
Yeah.
know any of that.
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, are there
So-
equipment we need to put on a schedule?
So we do have the last facility study that they updated right before I started, maybe? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was probably right for you because it was shortly before me.
And do we need to take another look at that to make sure that all of those things that are required are addressed in here, or do you think that you've gotten all of that?
I can reach out and have them come do a facility study. 'Cause-
No, I mean, like, everything that was identified in that specific facility study, is that outlined in this plan?
Yes, I believe so.
You feel like you're up to speed with that, like, cause we've seen those pieces before, but making sure everybody's on the same page, like updating those pieces, or do you want a meeting or another part to talk about that as well, to make sure we've got everything out there that looked like before you got here, is what I mean, yeah.
I'm up to speed on what that report said.
Okay.
And I do know there was the economizer. What I can't remember off of that is if there was anything else that was recommended that we needed to do.
They talked, lighting, we've already done the lighting,
We did the roof.
we did the roof and the gutters.
Yeah.
New controls on the mechanical equipment?
And they've replaced many of those. I don't.
Some of those were as they went out too.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So I don't know that all of those have been replaced, but I know the ones that were causing issues have been updated.
Mike, I was looking in here at your report. It said that you were going to be putting together a document outlining the numerous items from the previous plan that are already done.
Mhm.
And we'll see that probably in December.
That's my goal, yeah.
Yeah, that should take care of some of the things we're looking at here.
I'm just so happy that the roof doesn't leak anymore. Right?
Just don't.
I'm so.
That was, we went, oh yeah,
10 years worth.
yeah, and then it ended up basically they sprayed goo on it and, I mean, yeah, I mean, they sprayed a sealing
Yeah.
on it and yeah, that seemed to work.
But
Oh, no, it was
It was awful.
Other first several years we were on, we were talking about
Yeah.
to the manufacturer and the contractor and.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, well, is there any harm? Do you think we could actually get Zach or a representative here at the next meeting? And maybe you could work with them to give us some
I can do that.
plan?
So the Indiana Library Federation Conference, annual conference was this week, and so he was one of the vendors down there, so I said, hey, you'll probably, hopefully be hearing from me soon, so. I'm on his radar already, and the stuff that we had talked about before, so it's just resurfacing in more detail.
I think it's a good idea to make sure that your point is super well taken. We want new features, but we have to maintain the core
Yeah.
as well. So for me, I think that's a good balance to try to strike.
And do we have to have an equipment replacement schedule in our new strategic plan? I'm just going by this binder thing you all gave me.
Whose rule is that, do you know?
It was, I think it was board policy is what we had. Isn't it on page?
22,
Yeah.
here's the Indiana Article 6, blah, blah,
It's supposed
blah.
to be in there.
Minimum standards and,
Sounds like we need it.
No, it's part of board policy. It's in there. Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
okay,
I thought it was in what you would talk about, because I thought you had a spot in there where you were replacing them every 3 years, but I don't know if it's.
Yeah, I might not have spelled it out or had any actual.
well, he says mechanical systems and it didn't spell it out, so I didn't know if,
How detailed it has.
How detailed it has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%.
so I thought, oh,
No,
I'll probably just include it as an addendum to this. We don't necessarily. have to
Yeah.
have it in
Tie
line.
yourself.
Well, that was one of the reasons, not we left it vague or making it vague, but, a lot of the controls we said need to be done, and then they started going out before we said they need to be done.
yes,
So we had to replace them before they.
absolutely. But resurfacing the parking lot hasn't been done, but it hasn't been a
It was-
total necessity.
It was some 7 years ago.
Okay.
Cause I looked into that.
Yeah, but this was with, I
Yeah.
think, the last,
That one was 3 years ago.
I don't know, it's on the back of a holiday thing, so I don't know, but it was from last year, so.
Hmm.
So that's what, all I'm just checking in thinking,
Obviously, the time of years eliminates the wetland parts too at this point.
Yeah. And I think it's unreasonable to think that that all items in the strategic plan will get done.
Yes.
That's
oh,
not how-
absolutely.
But we should figure out what needs carried over.
Yeah, and it's a 3-year plan, so.
It's a,
With the
spread out.
director switch in the middle.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, so do we need to do anything? It sounds like we need to make some changes to this to include at least the reference to the equipment plan, the equipment replacement plan. So are we not ready to vote on this thing?
what, this, are we talking about building projects or strategic?
I've moved in, I've been merging.
I'm sorry, okay. Got a little
Okay, we'll
confused.
skip that. We'll skip that strategic aspect for now. And
So-
we can move on.
I'm going to go forward and reach out to Zach and Cam.
Yeah, you said there was no cost with that reaching out. part.
That's what we had done. They provided at this, so.
Oh, I didn't know what moving forward meant. I thought you meant we're starting it now, so I'm like,
No, that's why I was, figuring he could come, give us a scope of services, a
Great.
plan, work with Mike to.
Yeah.
Give us something
beautiful.
Yeah.
I was
a little bit more concrete.
thought moving forward meant we're starting tomorrow, so.
No, now, but if I'm hearing you properly, in December, he's probably going to want us to authorize some of this to move forward and hopefully get off the books.
Yeah.
Well, he's at least gonna present.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Can at least-
December we'll have it, yeah.
Look on one or two
Yeah.
somethings.
Yeah.
Okay. Or I guess we're getting an economizer. I don't know.
Maybe.
I can promise you that we can't get an economizer on that time frame.
Oh, you
Few
can't,
months.
you can't spend the money now and.
Oh, they'll take your money. That's it.
Yeah.
Of course they will.
We will not have one before. then.
I'm just saying, I'm here to spend that money, okay? Wait, don't put that on the record. okay? Thank you for clarifying everything.
Okay. Next item is, I've lost my page.
Disaster recovery policy.
Yeah, thank you.
Angela says it looks great. It's very well done.
And
A
then,
lot.
thank you for putting both, copies in.
Yeah, I like the red line.
Yeah.
That's always, yeah.
Again, most of this was updating the vendors we use and contact names and numbers. We specified a meeting place away from the building.
Yeah, thank you.
which was, smart, I think.
I noticed that the risk number one that we outlined was clearly from the last time that this was updated as a pandemic. I think this was updated in 2022 or 3.
Yeah, 22.
You know,
Yeah.
that checks out. That was fresh in the mind.
Yep.
Mike, on the last page, on page 16 on the clean copy, says the laminated sheet in the current executive director's office on her computer stand. Probably should be his computer
Or
stand.
on the,
His. I know that's nitpicky, but
No, it's,
I've got nits as well. Are there any substantive changes that we want to discuss on here? Things that we have critical issues with, because mine are all nits of formatting and verbiage. It's minor verbiage.
I think we need to talk about it then, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll bring them up. I want to save time. I want to make sure that the big stuff gets good discussion. So
on the
big
page
stuff.
8, communicating a disaster, are we thinking that internet's gonna be down or electricity is gonna be down? I just wasn't sure why social media
They
wasn't
are looking.
an and or on that. I thought, well, maybe if internet's down, that's why
With long version.
you're gonna do
Which
flyers.
page is this?
Page 8,
There's two.
you're gonna do flyers and signs and call the radio.
This is the one.
And I thought, well, if internet's not down, maybe social media, people might get that faster. But if internet's down, that won't be an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, but I can, social media, if it's not to name anything specific, but yeah, social media.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's-
And or, I mean, that way if it's down and we're not doing that, people, but,
No, I do like that.
I mean, since
well,
And
since
if
they're
the
doing
internet
it,
is-
great.
We need to stop cell phones, so
Right.
hopefully somebody can connect to us.
So, okay, that was, so go ahead and nitpick.
I like that.
And some of the stuff I was going to nitpick looks like it got corrected
Mhm.
between the two versions.
those nits.
Oh, man. you're-
Was that?
Those nits got.
Yes, those nits already got picked. Yes, check system logs regular,
Going back to
regular.
Plan, Mike, the
Got changed.
strategic plan, sometimes you capitalized library and sometimes you didn't on the second page, so
oh,
I just,
Nitpicky.
sorry. I know that.
That's my level of nits too. Overall, I thought.
No, I just figured this is going out to the
I
public,
think
so
substance wise.
Yeah,
go ahead.
the risk number 1 and risk number 2 are not bolded, whereas the rest of the risks are, I believe.
What
Yeah.
page?
Sorry, I've only got the,
Three.
yeah, I've only got the red line copy.
Page
Oh,
3, this
three,
one
page-
should just be in bold.
Risk 1 is not folded, but it's underlined.
Yeah, and risk 2 as well. It's the same problem. The rest are all uniform. Risk 5, we renamed to file retention risk. But at least in my red line copy, the risk assessment table was not updated. So it still says staff productivity risks. I don't know if that's probably in the main copy as well.
I did not check that, sorry.
What's that one again, Mark?
Risk 5, it used to say staff productivity risk. Now it says file retention risks, but the matrix on the risk assessment table in section A still says staff productivity risk. That's on page 3. The red line copy.
Gotcha.
In the risk 9 section, we have libraries plural as the alternate site. Should be libraries, because that's the library's designated meeting spots behind the dumpster in the large grass area.
okay, so that one is corrected in the.
On the final,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't.
No, that was one of those,
I didn't cross-reference it versus the final, and I realized maybe I should have.
no, there were several that were picked up. There was at least one or two spelling errors.
I did actually cross-reference this one in the CERT desk, adult department, youth service department. What do we do? This is in operating during a disaster, red line, page 9. Checkout will be done either through Evergreen offline mode, blah, 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 Excel spreadsheet, period. I think there's probably an or missing there. We cut out or will be handwritten, so we didn't move the or.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, these are very minor.
Yeah.
And then I think my last one is, on section 7, recovery responsibilities, there's just a stored in the cloud hanging out there. It used to say administrative assistant retrieve latest backup, now it's just says stored in the cloud, but it doesn't have anybody assigned to it. So I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Means it's your job. Saying.
I hope
I
not.
probably just missed deleting.
It might be like administrative assistant restores from the cloud, or I don't know if that goes to the systems manager. I'll leave that with you. I just
Yeah.
wasn't sure what it was supposed to be. I think that was my last one. Indeed it was.
Very comprehensive.
I don't see that, like, that you were right here.
Bottom,
Gonna care.
mid bottom.
Oh, I got you. Okay, okay. As a column stored on this, I got you.
Yeah.
I believe we need to approve. the-
Angela make the motion that we approve the disaster recovery plan with the needed,
Yeah,
correction.
correct.
All right. So, motions, do we have a second?
Very good, second.
All right, all in favor of approving the disaster recovery plan with the proposed amendments? Aye.
Aye.
All right, on to the strategic plan specifically. Kind of dipped into it earlier.
So we took, the starting point was the last strategic plan. We went through and took out stuff that we completed. And then we, my leadership team and I worked on coming up with what we want to do for the next few years. Sent it out to some trustees to review, incorporate those suggestions and questions and corrections, and then here. A lot of it is, first off, we made a lot of progress from last plan. I don't think we realized in the moment how much progress we were making accomplishing things from the plan. I mean, one of the things was to hire executive director. You did that. We went fine free. We made changes to the building. We've updated furniture. We've done a lot of stuff and accomplished a lot of stuff. And so a lot of what we're doing is building off what was that has been done and continuing to improve and hopefully and a lot of it is connecting with the community better, finding ways to. We do a great job connecting with people that come into our spaces. How do we connect with them outside our spaces so that they want to come in to our spaces and make those connections? So that's kind of the thoughts and philosophy behind where we were going with a lot of these decisions and goals. So any questions or specific things I can address? Try to answer.
Yeah, I've got a dump.
Sorry.
You were like, oh. So nothing.
When you preface it with that.
No, I have no problem at all with the language, with the substance of the diversity, equity, and inclusion statement. I'm just wondering, given the fact that that phrase has become a bugaboo, if we could just change the heading to something that doesn't say DEI. Like accessibility or, which unfortunately lends itself more to disabilities and things like that, but that's, yeah, that was one of the things I noticed when I saw that. I was like, that's become, rightly or wrongly, it's become sort of a.
So to that point, I mean, this is, I took our policy. So if we're changing it here, we probably want to vote to change the policy to reflect the same thing. So it's just either there,
Yeah, because that isn't our policy.
I am just throwing it out. I
I know,
know,
I understand, yeah.
and I don't, and it seems silly at one level. Because substantively, I don't have a problem with it. I can't imagine anybody else does. And if nobody else is bothered by it, I don't want to touch it.
Do we actually need it in our strategic plan that's already our policy?
well, we have our other commissions and follow that everyone.
Yeah, you have to have your mission in
Yeah.
there, because that's what,
Mission statement.
Understood. I don't know that DEI is a mission.
true.
I think it's a way of operating. I don't know if it needs to be in the strategic plan. And again, I agree with Greg with the substance. I also don't want to cause unneeded fights.
I'm just curious if most of what's here could be involved in the introduction, which that way you're not looking at a heading, a subheading for it,
To just put it in the
put
introduction
it in the introduction.
Oh,
as a paragraph.
there we go. You pull the heading off.
Basically a sneak.
That would be true, because when you read it by itself, it's
That's,
100%.
Yeah.
But it is from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that solution.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that.
But I still think it gets back to the point where we're still including that verbiage. And I think it could still, cause a problem.
Are there specific sentences in there that you think are problematic?
The second, I guess it's the second sentence, a place where a multitude of diverse voices are heard, amplified, and celebrated. That seems to me like that is getting into the social causes that are in our society right now, and have been. So I think that's problematic for us. I think that verbiage could be construed as supporting those social causes.
Your trigger words. For good or bad, they just are. And it doesn't say in this long-range plan that we have to include vision. It's already in the other library thing.
It's in our board policy.
Yeah, we don't have to include it here.
Because that is in our board policy. This is word for word
Right.
from our board policy
Right.
parts that we have. That, so if we can't change anything in it, like you were saying, unless we would go back to our board policy and change that. But as far as putting it into our strategic plan and moving forward, those pieces are already in our policy, so they're already there.
So is the recommendation to remove the mission, the values, the vision and the diversity?
Those are, yeah, because those are all board policy.
Yeah,
pieces.
so just pull them
So
up.
community needs and goals is in our strategic plan where we start from.
Right.
That's great. Does that sound?
mhm.
Yeah. Because all the rest of that is in board policy. That would, this is just what we're putting out for consumption.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, because according to the state thing, that doesn't have to be in the strategic plan.
No, we just put it in there to,
And it was there on the other one, so
Sure.
and since the other ones were there, I added
Yeah.
but no, and it.
that was part of the why. We put that in as part of the why we were trying to do all of these
Yeah.
things to make the building better, community outreach, all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody wanted to know the why.
I think it makes sense to ground yourself in the why. I
Mhm.
think we're in a moment when perhaps some of the verbiage can cause unnecessary fights when what we should
Right.
really be fighting about is the next few pages, honestly. I
Right.
mean, yeah, like whether we say we're gonna welcome a multitude of diverse voices or not, we're going to. That's part of what we have to do. We're a public entity, we're publicly funded, so people who pay taxes, who are by definition a diverse group of people, are going to be heard and amplified. That's how it is.
Yeah.
So whether or not we want to spend a lot of time fighting over that, I think it's
Discussion.
discussing. I think it's a strategic decision that we could do.
I don't have a problem removing it because it is on our board policy.
Yeah.
It's all there. This is for the strategic plan. That was just the why part of why we had it in there in the older strategic plan. To look back at, this is why we're trying to do all of these other things that are going to cost funds.
We take it out, then there are like 4 typos that we don't have to correct.
I'm fine with that.
Just saying, library does not have 2 Ys.
It's already in the policy
Did I not catch that one?
that if
I don't,
we simply
maybe
remove
you
it and
did.
don't
I
try
put in
to
the
alter
purple
it.
red line.
Yeah,
we're not altering it.
Then-
Yeah, I'm like,
He's like, I knew I saw that one.
Good.
And Joel may be correct, there may be some other language in there that whether I believe it reasonably is should be inflammatory or offensive is apparently.
Mhm.
So, as long as the policy, we are getting the discussion about changing the
Yeah,
policy.
and that's why I was saying, if we're gonna look at any of that, I think the easiest thing to do, the best thing to do, be to leave it in policy and just take it out of this because it's already there.
There we go.
Yeah,
Is that? Greg moves to simply remove from the revision to the strategic plan, the paragraph on diversity, equity, and inclusion statement.
I thought we were
Mission- yeah, you
removing
can
the
move
mission and the
vision
vision.
and, yeah, mission, values, beliefs and vision.
Oh, the whole thing.
Yeah, because that's all in our, that's all in policy.
All right, let's take it all out. Yes,
Go ahead.
yes, yeah. So you remove the whole mission statement,
Yeah, mission, yeah, Bill,
everything down from mission down.
yes. And starting at community needs, because that's where our.
The start of
plan
community
starts.
Right.
for the statement, since that's all in.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. So moved. Do we have a second?
Second,
All right, all in favor of removing all of the mission, vision, DEI verbiage from the strategic plan, signify by saying aye.
All right, great, that's a big delete.
That just became shorter.
Do we have any other notes? Angela, do you want to make some kind of motion to make sure that we add an amendment that references our infrastructure?
I would love to, Angela would like to make a motion that we include in our strategic plan an equipment replacement schedule. Is that what you were asking?
About equipment maintenance and replacement?
And improvements?
Yeah, something like that, yes.
Is that,
Mike, is that
what was
doable?
the wording that you had?
it says an equipment replacement schedule, and then we can do, improvement schedule.
Okay.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that because we did.
All in favor of adding in the, what did you call it?
The equipment replacement schedule and improvement
It's not
schedule.
in here.
Perfect. Signify by saying aye.
She's reading from the manual.
Yeah.
On the, excuse me, on the last page, then do you need the?
I already voted on it.
Okay.
It's okay, we have a majority. Motion passes.
It was to include in this, some language that she's got
Here.
from, he's just trying to figure out where to get from.
Do you need that?
It's on page 22. That one,
This one is about the wetlands and water paths and things. I thought that's what
That's a
that's.
separate,
and.
that one is a separate.
Oh, yeah, it's separate.
Roads with the rest of it.
Yeah, she's one.
And for the infrastructure improvement. Okay.
Yeah, for that, it's under action steps.
Mhm.
If you need that, if you're gonna have a
Has
schedule.
anybody
Yeah.
figured out what
We're gonna
our
have a schedule
liability and our extra insurance is gonna be
Maintenance
when we have
and,
the walking
et cetera, you need to
water
have
path
that in
and overlook?
I don't think we've gotten nearly into that.
Or do we just?
As far as I've heard, no, it's been a big idea
this
that
point.
we would
That's
love
my
to pursue one day, but
Well, Mike said we used to have one
We did,
and it.
Oh, you mean the boardwalk?
yeah, the boardwalk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we took it down.
it was,
Yeah, yes. I just was saying, has anybody, before we proceed with this, we need to do a feasibility, whatever you all want to call that study about yearly
Yeah.
maintenance and insurance costs, because when you're taking people across water,
so you're suggesting that like the assumption that we need that is perhaps a little premature and we need to figure out if we actually want to fund that project because of the extra cost we'll incur.
I'm just saying we should look at what it costs before we say, hey, let's move in on it.
I think that's reasonable. As long as I've been here, it's been something we want to do, but
Yeah.
I don't think,
We used to have,
I hated when we lost it, but.
yeah,
It
it
was,
used to have
it
a
eyesore.
path all the way around the pond that was mulched. And then we had our overlook
Right.
decking area. That was 15 years, 20 years old, whatever it was, and just,
yes,
I just don't think it had ever been maintained very well.
Sure. Yeah, and Mike had said, if we get tracks next time, sure, but we need a cost on that, because holy, that's gonna be a lot more than $150,000, I'm telling you.
But it was used.
Sure.
Especially,
Pictures.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
used. I think the worst part of it was that at certain times of the year, the mosquitoes were horrible, but it's a wetland.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that
No,
that
you
goes
were
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying before, we have other in-house projects to do that could be on the, oh Lord,
Then the
equipment replacement and improvement schedule.
Yeah.
Then we can vote on
So-
that later.
So under goal 4, action step, I just have wetland development. And I left it, I don't know what wetland development means.
Oh.
That doesn't necessarily mean
Sure.
all that stuff, but it could just mean that we're using it more. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the bullet, like your first bullet point says a land use study to explore possibilities, which I think is a reasonable.
Yes, I never read the final one.
Are all of the goals in, like Angela was asking earlier about the order of importance, are these goals in order of importance? Or are they just numbered as goals?
There's numbered as goals.
Right.
Okay. Do we have to number them in order? Or can they just
I don't think they do, because I mean,
like goals? Like, I don't know, do they have to be numbered? Because like you, Angela, you were right, because when you number them, they feel like they're in order.
Priorities.
Yeah,
Well,
priority,
I'm going by the last one.
correct. It didn't have.
These have priority numbers 1 through 5, and that's where I thought it was based on,
A necessity or need.
yes.
Yeah.
And it was somebody's preference.
It
Okay,
was,
well,
yeah.
I didn't get that until today.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that was what I was just wondering, if we send, when we send this out, people are gonna say, well, that's just.
so so it becomes like goal, expand programming,
Mhm.
goal, increase.
Yeah, instead of numbered. That way we know that those are the things we want to do, and not in any particular order, but just those are the goals we want to.
More like bullet points.
More like bullet points of,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's just what I was gonna say, was what she said, just put them out as goals, but not numbered.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think that's totally reasonable.
And I'm gonna suggest from perception point that we put the administration infrastructure before the wetland development. Because if people are still going through here, they're still gonna think if they're not numbered, if it's in this order.
okay.
I don't, I'm throwing that out there. What do you all
Okay, no.
think?
I don't think that hurts any.
Okay.
It averts a potential.
Do you want to make it
Negative
alphabetically?
Yeah. It's gonna be our
That way
decision.
they're alphabetical ordered instead of goals and they're alphabetically ordered? Administrative then would go first,
Access.
and then the next one would be expand and then increase in the wetlands. They would just be alphabetical then for goals?
I think that's fine.
I think otherwise it's random.
Correct, yeah, that's, okay.
So that's at least not random.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
I'm
alphabetized.
just trying
Yeah.
to throw it out
I
there.
think
'Cause-
that works nicely because it also puts infrastructure up top because it's an
Yeah,
education
yeah.
slash infrastructure.
Yeah.
Which honestly is the thing that we'd be the most careful about. Yeah, I'm good with that. Is that worth the motion or are we? just
Right
going
there.
to-
Do you have all of the
Yes.
notes?
Yeah.
Plus we have the video, so that's fine too.
All
Is there
entertain
any, are there any other grammar or spelling? I forgot my glasses, so I'm not looking that closely.
I had already gone through,
I didn't see any.
on grammar stuff and I think the majority of it has been fixed
Or deleted.
or deleted, yes.
I make a motion to approve our strategic plan, given the amendments that we have made or amendments we've made.
I second that motion.
Those seconds. All in favor of approving the strategic plan with all of the various changes that have been proposed? I'm saying aye.
Aye.
And I want to give a big thank you.
Yes.
That's really good.
Yeah.
It's easy to sit as a board and just
Nitpick.
nitpick and talk about,
Hey,
no, the hard work.
Yeah, let's put it
Yes,
together
yes, thank you.
and rewording
The
it.
only thing we're paid in is nitpick. We get our.
We're paid well to do this.
I didn't want you to misunderstand all of those things as
No.
disrespecting the
Yeah,
value
and
of the work.
I'm sure that you all know that when you write something, it's easy to miss something because nobody's supposed to sound like, and so you.
Yeah.
No.
And-
Okay, that was all of our voting.
oh, God.
Mike, do you want to lead into a director's report?
Sure. So we've had lots of staffing changes. Elizabeth was, professional assistant in youth services. Her husband took a job that they couldn't pass up, took him down to Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee. And so, we moved Annabelle from circulation over, and she's now learning the youth services, and she is doing great, and she will be fantastic in that role. We've then hired 3 other people. We hired 2 new CERC staff to replace holes in Annabelle moving, and we also hired a new technical services assistant who started today to replace someone else that left the library. Any questions about that?
Yeah, is that person that just started today, is that Ethan?
No, Ethan is actually our oldest new person.
John,
The
sorry.
new person that started just today was Malia, and that, yeah,
I think Ethan's old enough to have been mentioned in one of the,
yeah, I think he was hired last month.
Yeah.
or
And what was
last,
he hired to replace, who was he hired to replace? I know, I can't remember.
it was so we were. Over time, we lost hours in CERC and we were really feeling it. And so it was just bringing us back up to prior
It
staffing.
was a need, not a.
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't replacing. the
Someone
person.
needed, got it.
Filling in.
Because I went through and I looked and it looked like Annabelle was replacing Elizabeth.
Yep.
Malia was replacing Montana.
Yep.
And Zoe was replacing Annabelle.
Yep.
And then we had
Yeah, and Ethan was last month, yeah.
and Ethan, okay. Okay, so I was trying to figure out if he was a replacement, but thank
Yeah.
you for.
Yeah, that's certainly
that.
not a,
It was a staffing need.
yeah.
And I know it's subject to change, but next month, could you include, I don't know why I've never even asked for this before, an organizational chart?
Yeah.
With staff listing and a hierarchy.
Yeah, I have that.
Answers to.
I have to update with new people, but I have it already, so.
Well, I'd never asked for it before and I've just sort of piecemeal things, but that actually would
makes sense.
be handy information.
It's been in flux a lot lately.
Well, that's, yes, and so David.
Well, that is a large change. That is what.
This year we've had people come, we've had people leave, we've had people come back.
Mhm.
And I think that was it. And then it just kind of morphed into this. So I'm just trying to figure things out.
You're handling the changes well.
Thank
Or you are, I don't know how your staff is.
Well, our staff is doing great, yeah. Next is Cybertrack. I think it was mentioned last month, the month before. This is, so every public entity in the state has to be audited for cybersecurity. Cybertrack is a project with IU and Purdue, and they're doing that through grant funds, and so it's free for us to participate.
Yeah.
We went through a assessment of where we were at with things. They reviewed it. They then met with us via virtual to discuss all those things. And they will get back to us before Thanksgiving, a report of the things where we are most deficient. And they promise that it won't be, we need to spend $1 bazillion to do this. It'll be reasonable, obtainable things to improve. And then it has to be done in every 2 years. So in 2 more years, we will do it again. They were just approved to continue on it. So we will be able to do the same group, same team to go through it that time as well. But everything went well. Looked good with it. I'm sure they will find stuff where we are deficient.
Needing improvement.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'd be concerned if they didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very true. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we've come a long way since we had staff getting emails and going out and buying gift cards.
Yeah. That's true.
Let's get over
It's-
that.
That was,
Was I here then?
No, I wasn't either.
No, that's been a few years ago and it's a former employee. We don't need to get
If the
into.
louvre can be broken into. we might have some sense.
Yes.
And we do not use Louvre as our password, so. well,
So is this just cybersecurity or is it infrastructure as far as like disaster recovery planning goes?
They ask questions around that as well.
Oh, nice.
And then ask, you know, do you have cyber insurance and what backups do you have? What kind of backups and so.
Good. Okay, that's great.
That was a
Yeah.
pretty deep dive. So, next thing was just a quick reminder for you guys should be talking about board officers 2026. That's the typical reminder.
Get on it, somebody, okay?
And added to that also, we need to make sure we have our evaluation.
Yes.
Oh, so.
Is that
Does that need to be in the calendar year? Okay.
Should be, it should be.
So can we get that added to?
Adding executive session for next month.
Could do next month or December or January, whichever, January you would think.
I can't remember how we've done them in the past, but either one would be fine. It might be, I don't know if we would have the stuff around by then or not.
But just to let Carmen know, she needs to send something out for us as a,
Yeah, yes.
some kind of a form or something.
In my memory, it's been January.
I think, but I think we could get something sent out.
I will nudge Carmen.
Okay.
As far as the board officers goes, Carmen and I have a little chat, and I think it makes sense to have some kind of nominating committee. I don't know if anyone would like to lead that nominating committee, but I think it should be not me nor Carmen.
You need to nominate someone to nominate.
Do I have a volunteer?
I will volunteer to be one of the members.
Excellent, because you were the person we had in mind.
And by the way, I will note that when I first started, I always got on the nominating committee because it's the best way to not be in office.
Yeah, I tried that move.
And I managed to fly under the radar for about 3 or 4 years or 5 years. So I'll be glad to be on the
Just
nominating committee.
don't miss the meeting when nominations occur.
Yeah, well, I was on the nominating committee and still in that here, so.
Well,
Yes.
your plan.
You're doing a great job.
So I will be glad to facilitate that. Does anybody else want to serve? We can have, I think, up to 3 without an open door issue.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. Chris, your term expires before the end
Well,
of next year, correct?
No, it's,
Or no?
no, mine's 27, Greg's was 26.
Greg?
Oh, okay, well then Chris
But-
can be secretary or treasurer for 1 more year then.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I do want to make sure that I will be
Somebody's-
available to help, yes, for
Yeah.
that
I
policy. You're-
do think we need to consider the transition planning for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
And if I'm spoiling anyone else wanting to serve on a nominating committee by being on it, I would be glad to back off.
But no, please do, and I would like to see 2 more people. We can.
Greg, I will
I
nominate
can.
with you.
You will nominate? me?
Sure.
Okay.
I will too,
Well,
or who will.
okay, here we go.
Okay. You should be.
Okay, all right.
It's not a race, it was
I've
just
got-
build it.
And I think I've got your emails, but what I will probably do is reach out via email and probably try to set up something like a Teams or a Zoom.
Sure. Is there anyone on the board that would not like to serve in any particular spot? Or are you open to serving in any spot? I don't know what that means.
My glasses are falling.
Oh, okay.
Is that like table?
There's no code there.
Okay.
Well, I do not want your job, so I'm just gonna, not that anybody would nominate,
You
but.
got, you got on the nominating committee, so we will, try to have a slate of, officers to propose, at the next meeting.
Perfect. All right.
The staff was out and about in October, went to the last first Friday of the year, went to the Skeleton Fest. Had a presentation there. Things are going so well. I think I mentioned last month that we were splitting our story times, our baby story times and toddler story times. We did that. We still had 53 in attendance at one of them last week. So we are getting attendance to, and that's, it's very hard to do a story time for that many people, so.
I can barely wrangle two at home.
Yeah.
So staff is doing fantastic, lots of, forward momentum and working towards the future and building a good solid foundation now so that we can build upon that we're looking at what programs we do and all those things. So, a lot of that work's been going in, now. That's about it. I think that unless there's any questions about anything else in that.
Kelsey's videos online are cute.
They seem to be ramping up the views. I mean, on social media, so I haven't seen
Yeah.
it, but
Saying,
you're good.
yeah, they are. Very good.
What social media?
You can get on
Yeah,
Facebook.
YouTube. Oh, it's Facebook.
Yeah.
I
If you
try,
follow the library, you get those every
Yeah,
time they
sure.
publish one.
that's,
You don't have to do anything else, just follow the
I
library.
see.
I will get on and do that. Because they're cute.
Angela says the cute, so you have to.
I'm just saying, they are very well, representation of the library and what's going on here. It's very professional, but cute. I mean, it just draws people in. So maybe you need drawn in, Greg. Go follow the
Yes.
library.
Okay, unless there's anything else, the director's report, we can move on to claims. Are there any questions about the claims this month, or would entertain a motion to approve? Angela?
On page 3, we're paying unemployment. I'm sure that it's for Katie. I just have no clue. Does that go on for a long time or?
I had the same question. What was their requirement there?
I'm sure it's because we let her go, right? Or,
Yeah, I honestly do not know how long, because things have changed. So I don't know the current. I will look into that and see how
no,
long.
I just,
I think it's a reasonable question. I mean, you know, we had unemployment comp in the budget. We're not gonna blow the budget on this.
oh, no.
But I am also curious, just from
Yeah.
knowledge sake.
But then will that pertain to Montana too, or she wasn't full time?
Potentially.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. It is what has to be done. Okay, what's your look for there?
Well, just line items instead of like their names, that's all.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, it was on there, so I'm.
I don't know, it's okay.
Okay, unemployment, got it.
Post and mail newspaper renewals.
I know it's in our emergency plan, but is that antiquated yet or not?
People use them. We have
Okay.
people coming every day to read them.
Oh, great. Okay.
I still get the paper, but then again, I'm antiquated.
Aren't you in the paper's old building?
Yes, you are.
That doesn't really have anything to do with it, but you were correct, yes.
Here's where they all work.
And I've got a picture of Hester Adams on the front of the window, right?
It's also where our legal notices are.
This
Yes.
is, this is
Yeah, we
correct.
have to have some.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I make a motion, we accept claims as written.
And they'll make a motion.
March 2nd.
March 2nd, all the papers approving this month's claims. Aye.
I,
Hi.
The claims are.
I was with that.
But normally have public comment here.
Real quick, something I forgot.
Yeah.
It's just a heads up. We're switching our vendor for our print services. And that may affect our kiosk, our payment kiosk. We're trying to figure out what can be saved. So if we were to replace the whole thing, and which we don't think we will have to, it'd be $7,000. But the one we've had for years, so it's not something that we will have to replace over. Just a heads up, we're looking at and hopefully be able to use what we have and add their stuff into it. But there's a potential for a larger spending gap.
Do you have special spending limits before you need for?
I think it was
Yes.
5,000,
yeah,
what we said or something.
So, yeah.
Yeah. We had one in the past. I don't remember exactly what it was. We did that one during the pandemic.
So do we need to strike the name from the record And if it's in next month's, do we need to put initials instead of a name or?
No, we can say them out loud. It's just when they're recorded, it's just the paper ones. You can get those with the Freedom of Information Act. You can get the paper ones, but the copies are those posted online, the video of our board meeting.
Okay, so,
No, it's not. It's.
It's not, no, it's
Okay,
not.
well, I'm just thinking, oh, or future,
Okay,
now, got it.
with that,
I will move to adjourn.
great moves to adjourn. We are adjourned. Good night, everybody.
Is that what you